I had one more thing. Ben Askren is incredibly likable. He's fighting Jake Paul this Saturday, so he's been doing a bunch of interviews. Have you seen him?
No.
That guy is...
It's funny because I didn't like him at all with the run-up to the Jorge fight.
He is so centered. It is unbelievable. So he goes on the Logan Paul podcast, which I thought was very smart of Logan because obviously it's getting 5 times more views than his other podcasts. And he goes on there and Logan Paul and Mike and George, they're on Jake's side. They want Ben to lose and they make that very clear and they're trying to get a rise out of him and they talk to him about what do your kids, did you have to apologize to them for being such a loser when you lost the Jorge fight? Do your kids, when you're at wrestling camp, tease you for getting knocked out? They're just trying to get under his skin. When I watch you box, I'm going to be honest, you look slow. It looks sad. And he's just, my kid, so they do make fun of me for that knockout. They're 12 years old. They're complete assholes. That's exactly what happens. Oh, my own kids? No, they don't care. I don't think my kids even know I'm a cage fighter yet. Mm-hmm. Oh, I looked slow. I looked slow when I was wrestling. I was an Olympic wrestler, but I was super slow. Mm-hmm. And then even when he's bragging about, like Logan saying how there's levels to this game of wrestling and how he was a really good wrestler, but then this one guy beat him and he realized how good that guy was. And he's like, were you on that guy's level? He's like, that guy didn't even win states. I was an Olympic wrestler. That guy I would do to that guy what he did to you. But like with no ego in it. It's just incredible. I watched the whole thing and I don't think I've ever watched a full podcast before, but he is so you cannot knock him off of who he is because he's just accepted his losses and doesn't fight you on them and doesn't deny it.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to watch. It's like, oh, this is what being really confident looks like. It's not thinking you're the best at everything. Mm-hmm. It's going, I'm 100% slow twitch. I was the slowest guy on the wrestling team. Mm-hmm. Just saying it, just stating it without fighting back at all when they try to pick on your negatives. And they're not insecurities. I think his weaknesses aren't insecurities because he doesn't try to fight you on them. He just accepts that they're truth.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, he answers, which is a technique, and it's not a foolproof every time. It's not you can do it all the time, so I don't want you to think that. But taking a pointed question that is meant insultingly, like do your kids make fun of you, and answering it literally, and just refusing to buy into the frame that I'm supposed to be upset by this question, and instead it's demoralizing for, and then Logan isn't, he's just, I'm sure.
No, they said
teasing
so.
Him. He's
Dude, it was amazing. The guys trying to tease him go, I'm trying so hard to not like you.
Yeah.
And now I don't even know if I want Jake to win because I like you so much. Like I'm trying to get under your skin and I don't want to be mean to you anymore because of the way you're responding. They literally say these things to him throughout the course of the podcast. He goes, I don't even want to fuck with you anymore. This is like, you're just handling this so well that I want to be nice to you.
You know, what's interesting is that if you are bullying, and Logan is teasing him, I don't think he's entertaining for the purposes of a podcast, but if someone is bullying you, they need fire. Like something needs to continue to make them do it. And so what it can be, weakness can fuel bullies, pushback and rage when they know they can overwhelm you can, but that the unflappable literal response is just how long can your fire burn? Because I'm not feeding it. Yeah. I'm not giving it what it needs to continue.
I just did this Jonah Hill video on how to stand up for yourself. And so I was researching how to stand up to bullies. And I ended up going a different direction because I went with how to deal with your friends. But there's this guy, who knows how credible he is, but he tours schools giving anti-bullying speeches. And it's the exact technique he gives. He has people come up and try to bully him. Yeah. And the first time he does it, he fights back. And it's very easy to keep bullying him. They do not stumble. Yeah. And the second time, he doesn't fight back. He kind of acknowledges what they said. He acknowledges his weaknesses. And these high school kids who were just having they had infinite ammo to keep teasing him, run out of things to say. And they start to stutter and they're holding the microphone and they go, well, thanks. And they just stare at him. He goes, okay, cool. So that's the end of the exercise. I win.
Yeah.
And the kid knew that their job was to keep making fun of him, but they just don't have the fuel added. So I don't know. Horrible bullying. Maybe it's not the answer. I don't even pretend to know what to do when you're getting the shit kicked out of you in school every day. But this is just interesting from a conversational perspective. I think most people, they get teased by their friends or acquaintances in their friend group. And Ben Askren just does. I mean, he literally takes a room of people who are trying to, in a friendly way, bully him and makes them all really like him. And it's amazing that they just speak out loud. They just say, I have no desire to keep trying to be mean to you. You have completely ruined this game for me. Yeah. So it was very interesting to watch. I would do a breakdown on it, but
it's a frame thing. It's a frame thing. What they're saying is, we're in a fight, and I just sucker punched you. That's the frame. Like, I just got first swing. And he comes back with, we're not even fighting. Yeah. And it's just like, that's demoralizing.
Well,
like,
we're not fighting, and your sucker punch, I didn't even feel it.
Didn't even hurt me.
So we're not fighting. I'm not punching you back. But 2, that meant nothing to me. That swing you just took was a gentle breeze on my face.
Yeah. So it's not just, it doesn't just stop him. Like, it does establish a bit of a pecking order, which is just like, you can't hurt me.
Yeah. And all the comments are talking about how I love Ben Askren now, and he comes off so humble. He came off.
What's funny is
this is what real confidence looks like.
In his previous fights, and obviously he knew that he was playing heel and he was coming over from Bellator, but he was so unlikable. I saw
him talking about that too. It's actually pretty fascinating how that knee shaped his whole career. He had just beaten Robbie Lawler, and if he had beaten Jorge Masvidal, he would have gotten a shot at the title.
He barely beat Robbie Lawler.
It doesn't matter though. That's the thing. He beats Robbie Lawler, barely beats him. Almost loses, but that's a top X guy at the time. Jorge Masvidal is a top X guy at the time, and then I think Jorge Masvidal got a title fight shortly thereafter.
Sure. We don't need to talk. I mean, every fucking podcast talks about MMA. We don't.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's interesting to talk. He's gone. Ben Askren is completely retired.
Yeah,
because of that one. And I mean, he didn't get mauled. He took one. I mean, I don't want to say lucky. He took one bad shot.
Yeah,
and it ended his whole career.
Well, he seemed outclassed in the UFC. He seemed like he shouldn't be there, and I think he would have gotten mauled at the top of it. He could, I mean...
Well, Dana does not like him. Immediately after Jorge, he put him against Damian Maia, the best grappler in the UFC.
Just beat him up. Well, it's okay. You're such a good... This is your thing. You grapple, right? Not really.
Well, but what I'm saying is... you could easily have fed him the right strikers to have gotten him all the way to a belt.
If it were Conor McGregor, Dana could have done a nicer... He could have paired him against people that
no, he wasn't Khabib. He wasn't Khabib Nurmagomedov, but it's just fascinating to me. It's you didn't get... Because when I think of him, I think of a washed-up fighter that got stomped a bunch and then left. Because, that's not actually what happened. You took a bad knee and didn't even fight the guy, and then you lost to Damian Maia, who's literally considered the best MMA grappler of all time, potentially, and then you retired.
Damian Maia's gotten beat by a lot of people. And he's old.
Strikers.
He's old, too. Ben Askren can't hang in the UFC. That's the truth. He's just not good enough.
He could have gotten a title, I think.
He might have lucked into a title shot if he beat up...
He could have Eddie Alvarez'd it. He could have held the belt.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
Yeah, and then Eddie is now in Bellator, right?
I don't know.
Anyways, what else? Do we have questions?
Yep. So yeah, if you want to know how to be incredibly likable, come off as extremely confident, and potentially deal with teasing, watch Ben Askren on the Logan Paul podcast.
Mm-hmm. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.